This is a movement by David cardio day. My version of cardio. Lift weights that are too heavy and then rest a lot. I have 100 pounds here. I'm gonna show you how I stretch with 100 pounds. How ludicrous that sounds, but it is something I do sometimes. I use this to fold me forward a little. Man, with all this weight on you, it's hard to breathe. Oh boy, I didn't even know that was possible. Man, I can't wait to see this video. That's gonna be silly looking. All right, I am already pretty warm for this workout. We got a special one today. We're gonna be lifting weights. I got a 100-pound kettlebell and I got a 25-pound mace. We're gonna play around with them and see what happens. But first, you missed the first part, me dragging this 100-pound kettlebell out of the house to the car and then halfway across the park. And then I realized we might as well record this too, because this is basically my warm-up. My forearms are basically already fried here, but that's okay. It's just gonna make it a little more challenging. So believe it or not, this is a 100-pound kettlebell. Yeah, so I've already done this for like, I don't know, maybe a track length, it feels like. Oh yes, shade, here we go. Ugh. All right, cool, we are here. We are ready, just in time to take a break. So, I've been thinking about something lately. I hung up a pull-up bar in my house because I haven't done pull-ups consistently in a very long time. And the pull-up bar is in the door frame of my bedroom. Every time I pass through that door frame, there's a pull-up bar there, so I do pull-ups now. So I'm going to be interested in seeing how my pull-up numbers increase. I'm also going to be trying some one-arm pull-up techniques and all sorts of stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But my grip is already really warm, and I'm honestly probably gonna, my grip is probably gonna fail first before anything else. But the plan for today is just to mess around with some weight, have fun with it, and then I have 100 pounds here. I'm gonna show you how I stretch with 100 pounds. How ludicrous that sounds, but it is something I do sometimes, and I might as well show you how I do it. All right, well, might as well get right to it. So I'm gonna start with some kettlebell swings. I'm not very good at these. My technique is probably gonna suck, but that's okay. The goal here is not perfect technique. It's to not get injured and to get stronger. And I think it checks both those boxes. So here we go. Oh boy, that was 8 reps. Oh my goodness. 100 pounds is a lot. It's a lot of weight. That's like, I don't know, a lot of my body weight. Oh boy. A lot of this video is just gonna be me out of breath, because lifting weights is not just taxing on their muscles like stretching is. When you stretch, you feel it in your muscles, but your cardiovascular system doesn't get involved. But when you're lifting weights like this, your heart gets really involved. So pumps fast, you need more air, that's what happens. I think I'm gonna do one more set of that, and then we'll play with this mace for a little bit. And then I will consider that fully warm. Here we go. Oh man, that's all I got. I'm gassed. I should probably rest for longer. Oh boy. Ah, man, this thing is incredible. 100 pounds is actually a lot of weight for a small guy like me. It's funny because hands are getting darker. It's funny because 100 pounds, it depends on the context. Doesn't seem like a lot of weight if somebody squats 100 pounds, but if you only weigh 100 pounds, that's impressive. That's 100% of your body weight. If you can squat 200% of your body weight, 200 pounds, that'd be even crazier. But I think in the context of a kettlebell, you're throwing weight around, 100 pounds is a lot. Feels like a lot. I need to let my breath catch up to me. Yeah. One thing I've noticed about myself, since I'm an asthmatic, and people don't realize this, I have asthma. It takes a long time for me to recover from these types of workouts, so that's why I don't normally record them. Even just one set puts me out for a while. Yeah. All right, I think I'm recovered enough. I'm gonna move on to this Mace here. Again, my form is not going to be perfect. I'm not a Mace expert, but this is 25 pounds, so it's probably too heavy. For a beginner, you'd probably start with somewhere between 5 and 10 pounds. And when I first started, I had a 15-pound Mace. I played with that for a while, got really good at it. And my brother was like, hey, I want one of those, and I just gave him it. And then I'm stuck with just a 25-pound Mace. So that's the story behind that. But this is a really heavy Mace. I'm gonna go down to a little bit more even ground here. That way I'm not on a hill or anything like that. All right, cool. I'm gonna do some swings behind my back is what I'm gonna do. Here we go. So you'll notice my right hand is on top, and then I'm gonna switch it to go the other way. But here we go. Left hand is now on top. Oh, man. This is a movement by David cardio day. My version of cardio. Lift weights that are too heavy and then rest a lot. My grip is very, very warmed up, but it's actually to the point that it's pretty much fried already. But I do want to show you a couple exercises I do for my grip with that 100-pound kettlebell. It's really, really fun. So when you do stuff on a pull-up bar consistently, like you get into calisthenics, one of the first grips you learn is called false grip. And that means instead of holding the pull-up bar with just your hands like this and you're pulling up, what you do is you actually sneak your wrists up a little bit. So what you're doing is you're putting this part of your hand on top of the bar, and you have the option of keeping this thumb down or bringing your thumb over like this to grip the top of the bar more. The reason why you want to do something like that is, like, let's say you're doing a muscle up. If you're going like this, the transition to put your hands on top and then push up is very, very difficult. But if you can grab the bar and you can lock in a false grip, then all you have to do is you have to pull down, and then your wrists are already in the right place to do the push-up portion of the muscle up. So a false grip is definitely something I train. It trains something called active insufficiency. What active insufficiency is when your muscle shortens to the point that it starts to cramp, that's your active insufficiency. So when you shorten a muscle and get it strong in that shortened position, you actually improve that point with which your muscle starts to cramp. So the goal is to have your muscle cramp the least amount as possible, or have you get comfortable with that cramp, which is kind of strange to think about, but yeah. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna do a false grip, one hand. This is a normal grip. If I sneak under like this, this is a false grip. Try and hold it for around 5 seconds or so, and then I'll drop it. false grip. All right, other side. Oh my goodness. What you guys don't see, I know my hand is all getting black, but the reason why it is because I put sunscreen on. So my hands are all greasy from the sunscreen. This makes it like 10 times harder to grip, and I didn't realize that would happen. Should have brought like alcohol wipes or something. I'm gonna do another set of that. I'm gonna hold that. Here we go. I'm gonna try and really lock in this false grip as deeply as possible. Here we go. That was less time, but that's okay. Here we go. Oh, what's happening there is normally what I can do is I can put that portion of my hand right here on top of it, or I guess in this case for the kettlebell, I can put that portion of my hand under it like this. But the second I start to lift, it slips out. So I'm stuck holding my wrist in this position without the benefit of, so I'm holding it like this instead of like this. Because if you hold it with this part right there, it's a lot easier. But with the sunscreen, it slips out. And now I'm stuck holding a false grip like this, which is way more difficult. So, there you have it. I think I should do one more set on each side though. All right, here we go. Ooh. Oh, it feels so greasy. Yeah, I can't even get the full false grip. Oh. Oh boy, my grip is cooked. It is cooked. All right. I'm gonna do a couple hinges, weighted hinges. So it's basically just a deadlift, but I'm gonna arch my back a little bit. And the reason why is because it's gonna focus on hamstring length rather than deadlift strength. Because I could deadlift a lot more than 100 pounds. My PR is 275, and at the time, that was almost 2 times my body weight. It's like 1.95 times my body weight at the time, because I was like, I don't know, 140 or something crazy. Now I'm 160, I'm a lot heavier, but here we go. This is gonna be my weighted hinge, or just a deadlift, but you'll be able to see. I'll take this off so you can see it a little bit better. I'm gonna focus on a little bit more of an arch in the back, and we'll see how that looks, see how it feels, and then we'll move on. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna stand a little bit closer, get a nice grip here. I'm just gonna deadlift it up. Here we go. Now I'm gonna keep the knees relatively straight, so it's more of an RDL. Slight bend in the knee, that's it. I'll do one more. Oh boy. Oh goodness. Notice the cadence of that exercise. The reason why I'm doing it like that is because I've gotten a lot of advice from a lot of really, really professional people. One of those people that I really respect is Dr. Mike Israetel. And one of the main things he focuses on, or I guess the reason why he focuses on it a lot, is because a lot of people just neglect it entirely. But the eccentric portion of any lift of any kind has potentially more benefit toward an exercise than the concentric, which is the upward portion. And those are my words, not Dr. Mike Israetel. So if that's completely wrong, lambast me, not him. But basically what happens is you explode upwards, and then you do, between a 2 to like 5 second eccentric, nice and slow, tap the ground and all the way back up again. Now, what I could do to make this exercise a little bit better and elicit more muscle growth would be if I was standing on 2 elevated surfaces, since I'm very flexible, and I could have the kettlebell go even deeper down. That would be cool, but unfortunately I don't have anything like that with me right now. But let's do another set of those, and then we'll move on to some stretching. Maybe we'll do some more Mace stuff. We'll see. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Normal deadlift. Keeping a neutral, maybe slightly arched back. Knees are going to be slightly bent as I go down. I really do wish I could deficit this. So I wish the kettlebell could go below the ground level. Last one. Oh, I know I'm not doing that last eccentric, but man. Oh, I'm fried. I am fried. Oh goodness, check out this crater, by the way. This crater this ball leaves in the ground. That is super pounded in there. It's crazy. Thing is pretty heavy. Oh boy. All right, I'll do maybe one more Mace exercise, and then we'll move on to some weighted stretching for the heck of it. So let me grab my Mace. Let me figure out what I want to do. Maybe I'll do 2 more exercises. I think I'll do 2 more. The weakest part of my swing, that first swing that you saw me do, is the portion where it's the downward part of the swing. And that's because that's where the most force is acting on your body. You know, 25 pounds way out there, being swung down toward the ground and back out the other side. It's pulling your arms down. So I kind of want to focus on that downward portion a little bit. So all I'm going to do, lift this Mace up here. I'm going to grab the end, lower it down. Here we go. I'm just going to swing it back and forth. I'll face this way. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to switch hands. Oh boy. Oh, goodness gracious. The 2 places I feel that most is deep in my tricep, because that's the part that's under the most amount of stretch up there, your tricep muscle. And then I also feel it in my core, because when you're having a weight behind you, it kind of wants to pull you backward like this. So your abs have to, they have to work to keep you stable. And I don't know if you noticed the way I was breathing, but it's kind of like a... And the reason why I'm doing that is because with every breath, I'm filling up this area and I'm flexing all of my core muscles, my back, my front, my deeper muscles in there. And the reason why I'm doing that is because that makes me stable. It's called bracing. And using a Mace like this is actually a really good way of practicing your brace, because you're moving around, you're doing fluid movements, but you still have to brace. So as long as you're focused on your brace, you'll do good. But yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna do one more exercise. This is called digging, at least I call it that. And the reason why I call it that is because after I did that exercise, somebody told me, why don't you just get a shovel and do some real work and start digging? And I was like, At the time I was living in an apartment complex, and it would be really frowned upon to just start digging random holes. So we won't be digging any holes here. That's why I have a Mace. And we're at a public park right now, so I don't think they would appreciate me digging holes either. But here we go. So just grabbing it right here. My heavy side, foot forward. I'm gonna lift up, pause right there. Again, I'm focusing on bracing. even though my spine is twisting. Oh, I'm gonna rest for a couple seconds and do the other side. Oh, man, the reason why that one's difficult is not the movement itself. It's literally the core, the bracing that makes it that difficult. The sorest part of me tomorrow, believe it or not, is going to be my abs. It's a good thing. That means it's working. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, but this time left foot forward, left hand forward. Here we go. Get that nice brace here. Oh man, I am so taxed. Oh, I know, doesn't seem like I did a lot. I just did a couple exercises for like 2 sets at a time. Most of them only 1 set, but man, all of that requires excellent cardio, something of which I don't have yet. I used to have great cardio, but struggling. Whew, that's another thing. I got a lot of allergies too, if you can't tell. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna use this kettlebell to do some sadistic stretching, I think is what we'll do. And I need some flatter ground, so I'm just gonna move, I don't know, where should I move? Maybe right over here. It's flat right there. All of this is incline. Yeah, just 10 feet this way. Here we go. If you can imagine me walking a couple 100 feet like this, that was the beginning right before this video. That's why my grip is so fried. Oh boy. All right. All right, so the hard part for this is getting the kettlebell in position, but I'm gonna do an ankle stretch right here because I'm gonna focus on getting my knee past my toe as far as possible. And I'm gonna kind of sink into that stretch and we're just gonna hold it and see how it feels. So the hardest part is getting this kettlebell in position, especially after doing a full workout. So wish me luck, I guess. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Oh. All right, kettlebell is in position. I'm gonna use it to push my knee forward, just like so. Find a nice stretch. Nothing is painful here. By the way, if you're worried about me, that's 100 pounds on your foot. I weigh 160. Every time I take a step on the ground, I get 160 pounds into my foot. So 100 pounds technically is no big deal. And now if I'm running, you know, that could be 2 or 3 times that force. So I think my ankles are well equipped in order to handle that. But if you feel any pain, any discomfort when you're doing weighted stretches, probably shy off. You don't want to hurt yourself. Hurting yourself sucks. Hold it for a little bit longer here. And I'm going to drop it in 3, 2, 1, dropping. Ooh, man. Also, yeah, that's another safety hazard. Find a way to drop this thing without hurting yourself. Like for me, I always, before I even start the exercise, I have a plan of if I need to bail, where is this heavy weight going? Because I don't want it to land on my other foot or anything like that. As you can see, my other foot is tucked under. It's out of the way. The worst that could happen here is I could try and get up and it would fall on my foot, or it could fall on my knee. So let's not have either of those things happen, and we'll aim where it lands. But anyway, other side. Here we go. All right, here we go. Weight is in position. Squat down. Let that weight bring my knee forward, and we will hold. It's kind of interesting how each side feels a little bit different in this stretch. For some reason, I feel like this foot can stretch further. Ankle, rather. And I guess you'll be the judge of that in the footage. I think my left ankle, since it had an injury in the past, this one over here, is a little bit stiffer. So this side, since it's been less injured, is less stiff. So that's why I think I can go immediately a little bit deeper than the other side. I didn't really count on the other side, so I'm going to drop this in 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, I'm going to do another set back on that first side, mostly because I want to see whether or not my other side is in fact actually stiffer. But we'll see. Here we go. Oh, that was close. On the knee. There we go. Sitting down. Let the weight sink forward. Oh, well, now it feels like it just went just as far. Maybe this side just needed a warm up. This is impressive ankle mobility, I must say. I know there are people with far more flexible ankles, but I don't ever look at my ankle mobility. So looking at it now, it's kind of like, wow, I've done a good job at building this up. Ten more seconds or so, something like that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, drop. Oh, I'm gonna do one more set on this other side, and we'll figure out what else we want to do. Here we go. But you see what I mean, right? Stretches. Like, I'm not out of breath for stretches, so it's like I could do the stretching all day, but the weighted stuff, man, takes a toll, takes a toll. There we go. Get in position and sink forward. There we go. Oh, there we go. If you've never tried a weighted ankle stretch, it's a treat. It's a real treat. I would recommend starting with a really light weight though and working up. I have obviously been doing this for a very long time. My ankles are conditioned. And I know I gave the whole speech about I weigh 160 and this is only 100. But hey, if your body's not used to it, then why risk it? So do start with a lighter weight than I am. 3, 2, 1, drop. All right. Oh, that's enough for the ankles. Let's see how that deep squat feels. Oh, good. Ankles stopped working for a second there. Oh, let's see how easy this feels. Just squat down. Oh boy, it's like butter. It's like butter. Ankle mobility is one of the main factors for most people in a deep squat. So when you can stretch out your ankles, man, it really helps. Really, really helps a lot. Oh, okay. Let's see. What else should we do? Ankles. You know what? Maybe we'll try something a little crazy here. We'll try and do like a quad stretch. Something that people don't ever do and you don't really see. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm going to put the kettlebell on my stomach or on my pelvis here while I'm laying back on the ground with my foot behind my butt like that so I can get deep into that stretch. So we'll see how that feels. If it feels unsafe, I'm going to bail out. If it doesn't feel unsafe, I'm going to go for it. Here we go. All I'm going to do is kind of lift it up onto my leg a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna start laying back. Maybe I'll keep my foot under my butt for a second there. This is an interesting stretch right here. This feels more like a massage than anything else. So this is training knee flexion. So if you have trouble bending your knees, maybe something like this might help. But typically people that have trouble bending their knees have an issue with their knees. So if you have pain, maybe don't try that. I'm gonna go straight to the other side. I don't really feel much while doing that stretch, but I do wanna keep it even. This is what happens when you experiment with new stuff though. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's a whatever stretch, you know? Nothing wrong with doing a whatever stretch every now and then. But you know, when you have a 100-pound kettlebell, you might as well play with it. I have no idea how this looks on camera. It might look freaky, it might look like, what is this guy doing? Probably looks like, what is this guy doing? Oh, okay, cool, here we go. I wonder if I can get this weight almost on my back a little bit, and I can use it to help me fold forward. But I want to do that without the risk of that falling on my head or anything crazy. So let's see what I can do with this. So I might as well start in a, you know, I'm going to go back to the incline. I'm going to use the hill a little bit to my advantage here. All right, cool. So the idea with this is it would be a hamstring stretch, and I could use the weight to pull me forward a little bit. How am I going to do it? I have no idea. I have no idea, but we shall see. So I can get this up here. I don't even know if I can get this behind me. I don't think I can. Probably not. Maybe I should rack it. So if I bring it down to my knee a little bit, I can lift it up. Wow, I got it. That's incredible. All right, here we go. I'm going to use this to fold me forward a little. Man, this is such an interesting stretch. I'm going to move the weight a little lower. Man, with all this weight on you, it's hard to breathe. Oh boy. I didn't even know that was possible. Oh goodness. Man, I can't wait to see this video. That's gonna be silly looking. That's gonna be silly. I think we got time for one more stretch. Just gotta think of it, right? Let's think. That felt really good on my hamstrings. Maybe I'll just do another set of that, but I'll try to go deeper. The only problem is I breathe down here with my stomach, but when you're crushed all the way down, you can't really breathe with your stomach. And to compensate, normally you breathe with your shoulders and your ribs. But with all this weight on top of me and I'm trying to keep it from falling off, how am I supposed to breathe through my shoulders and ribs? So it's just hard to breathe in general. So I'm doing these like micro breaths. I don't know if you can hear it. But yeah, honestly, that was fun just trying to get it up over my back. So I think I want to try it again just to see if I can do it again. Because what if I try it again and I'm just completely embarrassed? Oh. Man, this is like playing with a 12-year-old. Like say you have a 12-year-old kid, weighs 100 pounds, but condensed into a bowling ball. That's basically what this is. Let's see. All right, there we go. Oh, dude. Every time I do it, my mind is blown again. Maybe I'll do a slight, well, no, I want to keep them together. I'm already tapping out, man. That is so intense. And it's not even intense for the stretch, because I could go deeper in that stretch, but then I run the risk of the weight rolling off my back and onto my head or my feet or something. I don't want to do that. Oh boy. Man, that was incredible. I did not even think that was possible for me to do, but hey, you know, you never know until you try. Just make sure that when you try things, you do it safely. And I was pretty confident in my ability there to bail out at any point that I needed to. So yeah, I think we'll end this video right here, but just for the heck of it, let's see how I feel with that back bend walk that I've been trying to do. Oh, here we go. Oh, this feels so good. I haven't done that sort of thing in so long, and it feels good that I can actually do it again. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more, like and subscribe. Stay flexy.